Not a good look in North Kansas City, I'll tell you that right now. 8:05, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Beautiful day set up for us across the region. So an investigation is underway in Clay County after a local mother reported that a man exposed himself in the women's locker room at the North Kansas City YMCA. Credit to Fox 4 for running the story. I know a lot of you have insisted that Fox 4 may have, lost a little bit of its mojo with the departure of people like Mark Alford, who now, of course, is sitting in Congress on behalf of the state of Missouri. But listen, they still have really good people there. I know some of them personally. They've got very good reporters, Jonathan Ketz. They got great anchors like John Holt. And you know what? There's a lot of local news outlets that would not touch this story, I'm sure, with a 10-foot pole. Fox 4 did it last night, and here's the report.
Bria and Lauren, I spoke to the mother of this 7-year-old little girl who says that her child saw the private parts of this man. She wants to remain anonymous in order to protect her family. And tonight, the YMCA is responding. It was less than 10 days ago when a Metro mother and her daughter had finished up swimming lessons where she says hundreds of children attended. They went to the women's locker room to change. That's when she says she heard a man's voice. She then decided to leave, but as she and her child walked out of the stall, they encountered a naked man, his privates on full display. She asked what in the world he was doing. The woman claims he said something to the effect of, quote, "Honey, I'm a woman."
Stop right there.
Quote, "Honey, I'm a woman."
So this was not the case of somebody getting lost. This was not the case of somebody misreading the bathroom or locker room. This was clearly the case of somebody who believed that they were in the correct locker room. Right? This was not like just your run-of-the-mill pervert. That's not what this was. This was not somebody who was a guy looking to prey on girls or women. This is somebody who thought they belonged in that locker room. That's the story right there. Because this could have gone in a lot of different directions. I mean, not that we thought it was going to be somebody who got lost or misread the locker room labelings, but that, I guess, is always a possibility. You got someone who maybe is just there for all the wrong reasons, but knows they're a dude. Not this case. Not at least according to those who were witnesses in the locker room who saw the individual in the flesh, this mother who's in there with her 7-year-old daughter. I mean, I got a 6-year-old. Many of you obviously have little kids or little grandkids, and you're at the YMCA, you're going for a swim, you're maybe taking some lessons, and then that happens? And the response allegedly from the individual is,
quote, "Honey, I'm a woman."
No. This is going to require potentially the state of Missouri to get involved in this, John.
Thinking of the movie 9 to 5, wasn't Dolly Parton who said she turned him from a rooster to a hen real quick? That's maybe time for that, huh?
It might be. You're right. You're right about that, man.
I imagine that's what was his name? Thomas said to
to Riley Gaines? Yeah. Thomas might have said the same thing to Riley Gaines. You're right about that. And obviously that sparked Riley Gaines' career. But now you've got 7-year-olds in the YMCA having to deal with this crap.
Riley coming up on Guy Benson's show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Good little forward
Going to be
tease.
talking about that UK ruling.
That's right. Good job on that. Good forward momentum there, fellas. Let's continue here with Malik Jackson of Fox 4.
She and her child then sprinted out of the locker room. That woman spoke to Fox 4 on Monday, and she says they were not the only ones who saw.
My 11-year-old does use that locker room, especially after we go to the pool. And in there, you either have the closed down showers or you kind of try to change as quickly as possible. So it's definitely shocking and something that we'll be looking out for a little bit more.
Yes, and right now what you need is the Clay County law enforcement folks, North Kansas City, to do something about this as well. YMCA put out a statement on this saying the YMCA of Greater Kansas City is aware of a reported incident in the locker room at the North Kansas City YMCA on April 12th. We continue to investigate the incident and are unable to provide further details at this time. They say they're cooperating with North Kansas City Police as they conduct their investigation. The safety and well-being of all our members is a priority, and we take this concern seriously. We'll follow all state and local laws, and individuals are allowed to use the locker room or restroom that they identify with. At the North Kansas City YMCA, we also have 4 private universal changing rooms available, separate from the larger shared locker rooms for anyone who prefers the privacy that they offer. So this is one thing I've never understood. Why would this individual not just use one of the available private universal changing rooms? If you are somebody who genuinely believes this about yourself, but you also respect other people, why would you not say, I understand this may make a lot of people uncomfortable. So if I've got available private changing rooms at my disposal, I'm going to use them. Because at least I can understand where a mother and her 7-year-old do not want to see generals in the female locker room. I mean, it's frankly ridiculous. The state of Missouri hasn't done more on this. Kansas has done more on Missouri on this issue, as I understand it. I mean, Missouri just can't get out of its own way as a red state. I just can't figure it out for the life of me. But for whatever reason, they can't figure it out. But at the very least, if you use some common sense here, if you're someone who does identify that way, could you at least understand why other people would be incredibly uncomfortable? And why 7-year-olds should not be exposed to your naked male body. And yes, that's a male body. I don't care about your quotes.
Quote, honey, I'm a woman.
I don't care about your quotes. It's a male body. And a 7-year-old does not have to be exposed to that because of whatever's going on in your mind. And if you had any respect for the mothers and the daughters in these situations, you would use the readily available private spaces, right? Like that's the part where it just feels like it's thumbing their nose.
It is.
That's exactly what it is.
It is. Look at me, look at me.
And then, by the way,
about me, let's talk about me.
And then on the back end, I'm the victim. I'm the real victim here. What, you don't like my, you don't want to see my nuts in the women's lot? No, I don't. Stop. I don't.
And the response, too, is almost like, oh, well, maybe the mom and the girl should have gone in the private.
Oh, please. Oh, spare me that. Don't even start. Enough. Before I get myself dumped. Ashley, North Kansas City. Hi, Ashley.
Hi. I have been a woman in a man's industry since I was a teenager. I was a bull rider as a teenager. I have had to change my behavior because of the industries that I was in. I'm a truck driver now. I was in carpentry school. I've always been a tomboy. Because of that, I had to change my behavior, not everybody else around me, not the boys that were behind the chutes. This, to me, is the equivalent of that. So, to me, I'm a woman. I should be the one who's protected. You are the one whose behavior is unnatural. I'm just going to say it. It's unnatural. I watch a YouTube channel of a transgender person named Buck Angel. Buck Angel flat out says, this is a mental disorder. We need to protect biological women from these sorts of things happening. There was a non-gendered changing room there. The only reason that you did this was for shock and awe. You got it. You're getting attention. I hope that you're happy. You have possibly caused trauma to a young woman now because of your behavior. I am a woman. I need to be able to feel protected in a space that is supposed to be for me. If you were a true transgender person, as Buck Angel talks about on their channel, then you would not be out there looking for this behavior. You want to blend in, not draw attention to yourself. You need to go get some help, and maybe you will get the attention that you're looking for in a good way, not in a bad way, such as this. This is inappropriate behavior, and I really hope we can follow the lead of the UK and start protecting women again, like we should be. Women are protected for a reason.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much. That is well said.
Bye, guys.
You know, I want to use a locker room example to further this story and take your calls at 913-408-7957. Trust me, you've been in locker rooms, I've been in locker rooms, and I couldn't help but think about the fact that every time, I'm in a locker room, going to the gym or whatever, you always get the old guys that just love strutting it around, right? I mean, they just love letting it hang. And then the rest of us are kind of in the corner trying to, mind our own business, expose as little as possible because we're in a room with random people we don't know. That's just kind of how I think most people are. But you always get 75 and just letting it loose and doesn't care at all. And, hey, what do you have to lose, right? And, there's a part of me that almost respects the I don't give a rip attitude. But that's not how most people are. Even if you're looking to give somebody the benefit of the doubt and they're a biological male in a women's locker room with little kids, you would think they would do everything in their power to hide in the corner and not be strutting around. I just don't know how this is at all defensible to anybody who's got an ounce of common sense. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care, how you identify politically speaking. What is the defense of a grown man letting it all hang with 7-year-old girls in a YMCA locker room in North Kansas City? Please. I mean, the floor is yours. It's available. I'll take it. But you better make it good. You better make it damn convincing. I don't know how you could do it, but I'm going to give you a shot at 913-408-7957. And Tirade Tuesday is only 15 minutes away. So we got a bang up 8 o'clock hour coming your way on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. What else would you call somebody who is a biological male walking around and strutting around naked in the North Kansas City YMCA locker room and exposing himself in front of a 7-year-old girl and her mother and apparently other women as well? We used to call that a pervert. That's what we used to say. It used to be somebody who should be in jail. Now there will be a portion of our country that will justify this, which is ludicrous, disturbing, disgusting, and insane to me. But it's where we find ourselves in 2025. I mean, this is what happened allegedly in North Kansas City. And Fox 4, to its credit, ran the story. YMCA says it's aware. It is cooperating with North Kansas City Police in Clay County. And they say the safety and well-being of all our members is a priority, and we take this concern seriously. Frank's in Overland Park. Hey, Frank, go ahead. You're on KCMO.
Hey, Pete. I am the father of 2 adult daughters and grandfather to 4 granddaughters, and this is just reprehensible. No other word for it, because what causes us to know that this guy doesn't get off on seeing little girls in a dressing room naked or partially naked, and besides exposing himself, if they were in a public area, he'd be arrested. So I'm almost beyond words, but I'm angry, so I better just shut up and leave.
Well,
thanks, Pete.
You did
Thanks
it.
for bringing it to our attention.
Hey, I'm happy to do it, and credit to Fox 4, running the story. I listen. I promise you, the Kansas City Star, and I will admit if I'm wrong on this. If the Star runs a story on this, you know what? I will give a lot of credit where it's due. But something tells me it's not going to be their headline piece today. I think they're too busy still running things on like January 6th people or something like that. I don't know.
Maryland Man.
Yeah, that's right. I had too many puff pieces on Maryland Man. Jonathan in Kansas City, go ahead. You're on KCMO.
You asked what kind of justification they could have for this. Well, the YMCA themselves provided it at the end of their statement. Well, we we take this seriously, but we do let people use whatever bathroom they identify with. You know, Obama did a lot of damage to our country over the last 2 decades, but I think one of the biggest, and the reason that Trump came and then he came back again, was just our social decline, and this is a sign of it. I don't know if you remember back in, I think it was the 2010s with the whole North Carolina bathroom bill. And, you know, Obama, he could have been a leader. He could have been a way better president, and he could have taken a stand on this like, hey, this is insanity. Like, we can't just be, you know, flip-flopping, going back and forth in bathrooms. He was silent on it. We elected him 2 terms, and he destroyed our social fabric, and now we're reaping the wind in the last 2 decades in this country, and this is another sign of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the big cultural things that he swung and missed on. The other one, of course, was Michael Brown over on the St. Louis side of the state, where that created great division racially in this country, and we've just seen a decline on that front for the last decade. And Obama would have been the perfect guy. I don't want to get off track here, but he would have been the perfect guy to say we follow the facts. My DOJ said that what the protesters claim happened did not happen. And he couldn't do it because of politics. And the grift was too good. But you're right. I forgot about that North Carolina bathroom bill as well. So now we sit here and we just wait. And I guess we wait for the investigation from the North Kansas City Police Department. But as Jonathan also notes, the YMCA did say here that at the North Kansas City YMCA, we have 4 private universal changing rooms available for anyone who prefers the privacy they offer. Well, here's the thing. If the YMCA there is insinuating that the mothers and their daughters should be going into the privacy of the universal changing rooms so they don't have to avoid seeing genitals in the women's locker rooms, I don't know how you could go back to that place. I don't know how you could possibly give the YMCA in North Kansas City your money when their insinuation is, you know, the best place to avoid seeing male genitalia is in the privacy of a universal changing room. No, 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 no. If you are any self-respecting father or man or mother, you can't give this place a dime more of your money. You can't do it.